dead, baby.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Peace, Moors. What's good? We're here. Canaanland Moors class every Tuesday right here. But of course, it's going to be uploaded to the Canaanland Moors YouTube channel because everybody's compromised. Ustream's compromised. YouTube's compromised. Everybody's compromised and don't want to admit that they took the check. Right? They don't want to admit that they're working for the other side. Have you really thinking that these people are really in your favor? So, before we start up, just on to all the Moors worldwide, all the Moors everywhere. Anybody who says, I'm not Negro, black, colored, I'm a Moor, Islam to you. Everybody else who's on the fence, Islam. You're going to get on our side very shortly. Keep playing. You don't want to be Moors. So, we're going to be doing our pardon the interjection at 8 o'clock. So, I'm going to deal with some questions, but touch on a couple of things, you know what I mean? Because things are going on, and we just want to keep you up to date so you don't get caught up in the hoopla. Right? So, Zimbabwe. Right? People getting hype. People getting hype because, you know, the Zimbabwe Hitler, Mugabe, you know, ran out. So now they got some Claffies in there, and you're thinking the Claffies are the people that are the sellouts, when those people been sold out so much times for so long. And why is it that the conscious people don't know this? Because they don't study. They don't really study. They say they study, but they don't study. If you study from the correct sources, you would realize how much we've been played by our own. So, remember, we're talking about Zimbabwe, right? So, we're going to go to the master teacher. We're going to go to the master teacher, right? Dr. Walter Rodney, right? In his great book, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. Oh, Africa? Does Africa not mean the whole thing? Oh, people talking about certain places haven't been colonized, Europeans haven't touched there. Get the hell out of here. Why do you think all those people are running to come over here? Why do you think all of a sudden there's Somali city over here? And Eritrean city, and Ethiopian city. And everybody has their little corner, and Negro, black, colored people playing games. They're playing around. They want to go back to Africa, BS like that. Islam to the master orator, Dick Gregory. When he asked you, conscious clowns, are you going back to Africa, see some dusty ass pyramids and stuff like that? What are you going there for? For what? How Europe underdeveloped Africa. If they don't have this in their library, they shouldn't be on videos talking anything about anything with regard to African politics and Mugabe and whatever. Right? This stuff been sold out. Do you think these people that's giving Europeans back land right now are some new people that they just popped up and got one guy out? How come none of these people who rep Mugabe and, you know what I mean, he's giving the land back and all that stuff, how come none of them are talking about when he got knighted by the Queen of England? Nobody? Oh, it's on the record, you know what I mean? They even did the one on you and took it back. Took back the night chip from Mugabe. So if they took it back, why even give it to him? If you're going to take it back, why even give it to him? Clearly somebody's playing you. Mugabe. This guy had the Hitler mustache and everything. You don't know that these people been sold you out? You still playing around? You think that there's revolutionists right now in some politics of some whatever? You really think that the people who are in power are gonna do something for you because they wave your flag or they do some stuff in your favor? Oh yeah, those guys are on our side because they... Okay. Page 65. And this is from 1982, Howard University Press. Copyright 1972. So since 72, these people are supposed to know this stuff. Right? But we're not going to talk about Walter Rodney though. We're not going to talk about him. When Cecil Rhodes sent in his agents to rob and steal in Zimbabwe, they and other Europeans marveled at the surviving ruins of the Zimbabwe culture and automatically assumed that it had been built by white people. Even today, there is still a tendency to consider the achievements with a sense of wonder rather than with the calm acceptance that it was perfectly logical outgrowth of human social development within Africa as part of the universal process by which man's labor opened up new horizons. For all those Moors who don't want to work and they want to have a PayPal and tell people donate $1 instead of go get a goddamn job or go learn a trade and go do something. And oh yeah, and don't forget these same temple Moors, they want to tell you donate so they can go buy a community. Or why don't you just use the treasury money from the 3,000 member temple dues that you guys been getting since 1913? Why you need to beg for some handout? Man's labor opens up new horizons. Not man stick their hand out begging for stuff. Man's labor. And if a servant has been worthy of his or her hire and has not asked for compensation, the people who receive something are obligated to give to support that laborer who just did what they did out of the goodness of their heart or whatever. Labor is what opens up new horizons. Or how Noble Drew Ali said, active Moors, not passive Moors. Labor implies activity, doing something. Again, in the literature, not the Moors that the Moors told the Europeans, oh yeah, those Moors over there, take those Moors because they're lazy asses. The passive Moors, the temple Moors. And just to qualify temple Moors, the temple Moors that are in the temples that run like churches and they sing hymns and kumbaya and you can't be Moorish American unless you join this. Those temple Moors. Not the temple Moors like Grand Sheik Nature's temple or Grand Governor Heru in Atlanta's temple. Right? Or the Moors in Virginia's temple. Not those temple Moors. Right? We're talking about specific kind of temple Moors. Right? The sense of reality can only be restored by making it clear that the architecture rested on a foundation of advanced agriculture and mining, which had come into existence over centuries of evolution. It is believed that the inhabitants of Zimbabwe in the 11th to the 14th centuries were Sotho-speaking, S-O-T-H-O. But by the time the Portuguese arrived, a Shona-speaking dynasty had taken control of most of the region. That was the Rozwi clan, R-O-Z-W-I, which set up the state of Mutapa, M-U-T-A-P-A, between the Zambezi and the Limpopo. Zambezi, Z-A-M-B-E-Z-I, and Limpopo, L-I-M-P-O-P-O. The ruler was known as the Mwene Mutapa, which apparently meant Great Lord of Mutapa to his own followers, but was held to mean the Great Pillager by peoples who he conquered and wielded together into a single empire. How come nobody's... Oh, you're going to rep Mugabe, but you're going to diss Moors for putting people in slavery when Zimbabweans put their own people in slavery. Oh, well, you want to talk about that? How come you don't want to talk about the Zimbabweans, or Africans, who enslaved other ones? And after they conquer people, make them join their empire to make it something. You don't want to talk about those ones, but you always bring up the Moors. The Moors did something to somebody. It's always the Moors that did something. Right? In introducing the concept of development, attention was drawn to the fact that the slow, imperceptible expansion in social productive capacity ultimately amounted to a qualitative difference with the arrival at the new stage sometimes being announced by social violence. It can be said that most African societies had not reached a new stage that was markedly different from communalism, and hence the use in this study of the cautious term transitional. It can also be noted that nowhere had there been any internal social revolutions. The latter have taken place in European and world history only where class consciousness led to the massive intervention of people's wills within the otherwise involuntary socio-economic process. It should also be reiterated that slavery as a mode of production was not present in any African society, although some slaves were to be found where the decomposition of communal equality had gone furthest. This is an outstanding feature illustrating the autonomy of the African path within the broader framework of universal advance. One of the paradoxes in studying this early period of African history is that it cannot be fully comprehended without first deepening your knowledge of the world at large, and yet the true picture of the complexities of the development of man and society can only be drawn after intensive study of the long neglected African continent. There is no escaping the use of comparisons as an aid to clarity, and indeed the parallels have been narrowly restricted to Europe, even though they could have also been provided by examples from Asian history. Why do Asians have history of Africa? Why would Why would the African continent have a history? And if you're going to really go deep into that history, you're not going to go to European source, but you can also go to an Asian source, not just an African source. Because they're Asiatics. And Africa is part of Asia. And we already know that Africa is not the name. Noble Ali taught us that that's a Mexico. So if these people realized that they're in a Mexico, not Africa, Zimbabwe and all this BS, they would be able to unify for real, because everybody would have the same concept of what this place is. Just like we're trying here to get everybody on the concept that over here is Morocco. That's why we're Moors. Yeah, we know there's a Morocco over there. No, I'm not in denial of that. But there's also a Morocco over here. Right? But then, you know, M-O-R-O-C is Morocco. And people are going to try to say, here's not Al-Morocco. Here's not Morocco. But they're going to do a 2-hour class to prove to you that over here is Morocco. But it's not Morocco. But it's Morocco. How Europe underdeveloped Africa. Mugabe got knighted by the Queen. That doesn't... If he got knighted by the Queen, isn't that no different than Farrakhan coming out right now and saying, oh yeah, you know, Elijah Muhammad taught us that we should give honors to Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey. Just now. How come we didn't say that in first Million Man March? How come we didn't say that then? Placation. Exact same thing. How do you think these people are really in your favor? You got knighted by the Queen? And it's not like he denounced it, they took it back from him. He didn't denounce being knighted. Just go check. He got pictures with the Queen and all that. Remember, these people had their arrangements. This is not some just today. This is just something today that's just happening. No. These people have been doing their plan. This is a global thing, colonization. Not something limited to 13 colonies. This global. Right? Global. Now, I got this today. It's just another level, just to... So my sister sent me this today. Somebody posted this on Instagram. Queen Ifrica. I-F-R-I-C-A. Queen Ifrica. Now I really hate to do this, guys, but I must lend my voice to this wickedness happening in Libya to black people. Black people are in Libya now. My friend from the Gambia called me crying and asked me to use my space to help spread the word about what's happening in Libya. he told me that some of the youths in these pictures are his friends from Gambia. I asked him what was really happening, and this is what he told me. He said Africans go through Libya, but I thought they were black people. Remember, Africa comes from Farouk, which means to separate. And then you have somebody calling themselves Africa, IFRICA, and then somebody saying Libya, then somebody saying Gambia, somebody saying black people, somebody saying, right, Africans. He said Africans go through Libya to get into Italy. And Libya is the border. And that is where they take advantage of them. So Africans are going out of Africa into Italy through Libya. Now, you know, because the people here, conscious people, whatever like that, they're from over there and all that. Right? How come the people there are leaving there? How come you're on the beachfront and you look out and there's no water and you're just walking out to see how come there's no water? When I asked if Libyans are Africans too, he said they are Moors, but some Africans the Africans go through the back way to reach Libya to be able to cross into Italy. So the crossing point is the pain you see in the pictures. They see black people as idiots and slaves and kill them just for using their country to cross into Italy. Then again, goes back to that thing of Gaddafi. And these people that came in, who are there now, weren't really where he was at. Because if he was still around, there would be no Europe underdeveloping anything right now. If they didn't take him out of power, there would be no European anything going on right now. In as far as the continent's concerned, zero involvement. And then why was he doing that? Nationalism. Why was he looking out for the whole continent? Not just his little corner. Because you have an obligation. You have an obligation, if you know how to perform your task to the best of your ability. Stop playing. You don't need to get anything for it. Do what you're supposed to do. All these people sold you out. When are you going to save yourself? When are you going to save yourself? How come they don't talk about the plan? Don't forget the plan that is secret. The plan that's secret in Zimbabwe history. Since Mugabe's been in power. The secret stuff that he had with the Queen, that records are still sealed. And apparently, people who realize the fraud put it out there that what was involved in that was the fact that all this whole he's hype and he can take people's land and stuff like that and all that after Europe underdeveloped Africa. Like, that was a con. Because him doing that BS could only be for like 10 years or 15 years or something like that. After that, that stuff's done and it's over. But, you know, I'm just saying, don't get caught up. Because, you know, all of that is still some external whatever doing what you're supposed to do. It's about self first. Not ego, self. Higher self. Not lower self. Higher self. Raising the frequency, raising the vibration, so you're thinking on a whole different plane. You're thinking on a plane where certain things are not even gonna, they're not even gonna be in your foresight. Like Joali said, walking on the high road. There's certain Moors on the high road, what's gonna draw their attention under the road that they're on? There should be nothing, really, if you're on the high road. You know. But as people on the high road, we see that, you know, there's escalator right over there leading to the high road. Like, why you guys, you know what I mean? All this stuff and all that. You gotta go through dirty moors and all that stuff till you get to the high road. And you just take the escalator over there. You don't even gotta walk, you just stand there. It'll take you up to the high road, that's all. But people love stuff hard. They don't like stuff easy. If you like stuff hard, you know, do your thing. You choose the easy way. Right? Stick to the principles. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And you don't have no problems. Read your Quran. Read your mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood. You know, and divine yourself. Get yourself in a divine place. Get yourself in a divine place. Islam to Brother Wasim. Another link for the Moors to check out. LatinAmericanStudies.org. Taino. And just read all the Taino part. LatinAmericanStudies.org. For all the studious Moors who like to study. For all the Moors who know, you know what I mean, that study is Noble Joali. Forget these Moors talking about Noble Joali didn't say that. Trying to keep you from studying. Crazy. Trying to keep you from studying. Like, why? Why do they want to do that to you? Why do they want to do that to you? This is Brother Navi. Oh yeah, you have to send the book, the slave trade page, the trade page. We need the book. Just email the book name for the African slave trade part. Oh, look at that. We'll take this call right here. Islam.
Islam, brother man, how you feeling?
Everything's good, More. I'm just doing class right now. But since you called in, you want to plug that thing?
Might as well. I mean, I'm on the line. I can. Why not?
Yeah. Just put yourself on the record again and put that out. Whatever you need to get out, just get it out.
Oh man, so we live right now.
Yeah, like right now.
Can we go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead, boy.
It's live. Well, first I rise here in perfect praise to Allah, giving honor to His Prophet Noble Drew Ali, give honor to the Harbinger Marcus Messiah Garvey, give honor to all the true and divine prophets, Jesus Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, Noble Drew Ali, give honor to all past and present leadership of the foreign science of America. I'd like to give honor to R.V. Bay and the great work she has been doing. I'd like to give honor to Taj Tariq Bay. I'd like to give honor to Cujo. I'd like to give honor to all Moorish Americans and all Asiatics.
Islam.
Yeah, man. I guess I can give them more of the quick updates. Everybody can know we're still pushing for this financial institution. We are currently we only have 108 surveys in as of right now. Our goal, we need 300 surveys of $400,000 in pledge money. At this current rate, we've been getting surveys completed at a rate about one every 3 days since we initially received preliminary approval. It's a little frustrating, a little disappointing because I really feel like we as a nation of people should be further along than this. And the one thing I want to put out there is more people stop trying to debate and understand this is real. You know, this is something very, very simple. This is a socioeconomic resolution that we can benefit from, especially while we're still utilizing this Federal Reserve system. I have been receiving some messages from boys questioning about that. And I want to make sure I emphasize to everybody that we're not asking for any money from anyone right now. We're just trying to get some data in so we can develop the first financial institution. And for those who are opposed, why don't they oppose the European institution? That's kind of frustrating to me. I get a lot of movements that challenge that, like, you know, y'all deal with European institutions regularly, and nobody's questioning anything. They just put their money in there, shop in the stores, etc. And here we are trying to do it for ourselves, and we got more trying to challenge it.
When you say, like, cause, you know, being that you're one of the people at the forefront of this, you're engaging, you know what I mean, like all different types of Moors. Where are you getting the most resistance with regard to your program that you're introducing to us?
To be transparent, I'm not receiving a lot of support from some of the members of the Moorish Science of America Inc. Affiliation. That's just to be straight up. I have shared it with a lot of them, and I was surprised. One of them actually told me that they could not support me because I was not a part of their grand body. And that's just very, very disappointing because more need to understand this is something universal for all Moorish Americans to keep in line with necessities to make the needs and all faithful Muslims. So we shouldn't be having this discussion.
Right.
And even if they don't want to support the credit union, there's actually a question on the survey, and they can just write no on that question. So, you know, that's where we begin some resistance from. But I mean, I don't want to narrow it down and just exclusively to that. I mean, overall, the resistance has come from Moors who aren't sincere.
Right. Just so we...
Any of those who might feel like that, I just want to really put out there, stop challenging what we're doing. You know, if you really want to understand, you can go to ncua.gov and you can do research on how to establish a federal credit union. And you can review the Federal Credit Union Act that was passed in 1933. And that's how you can learn about the requirements and what we're doing, etc. Also, the surveys can be completed on unitemple14.org. That is an update since the last time we had this interview, Brother Man. We can go to the website now, so more can go online. It's 12 questions, 10 minutes. Just knock it out so we can go ahead and move on developing this business plan and develop this specifically to address the needs of our people.
And put out the site again.
It's unitemple14.org.
unitytemple14.org.
Yep, UNITY temple14.org. And you can fill out the survey there. You can contact us, ask questions up there. I ask everybody to please share it, social media, share with your friends and family. If you are a leader within the Moorish Science of America, definitely propagate this to your members. And also I want to emphasize that you do have to be a member of the Moorish Science of America because that is the permissible field of membership that we qualify for.
How come you didn't how come you didn't take the approach like how they're taking that, well, you have to be part of this body or that body or whatever? Like, why are you just having it broad as far as, they could be a member of whatever temple?
It's not, because there's one prophet, one temple, and one grand body for the Moorish Science of America. And anybody that's pushing anything different, you're in the way, and you need to sit out a seat. Because we need to move together and get this thing done. We're not allowing that to divide us. So that's the reason why it's pushing, because it's universal. Whoever, any grand body, any affiliation, it does have to be more science of America. As long as you're affiliated, and you keep in line with the statutes as defined in our divine constitution of violence, then you're eligible. Let's move on it. And we also need subscribers. So if you want to assist with the development outside of just simply doing a survey, and you want to study the ins and outs and everything, then you can call me directly. And our phone number, our public phone number, is 757-785-4860. Again, that's 757-785-4860. So if you have questions or concerns, etc., give us a call. Send us a text message.
Put it out one more. Put it out one more time.
757-785-4860. Call me directly if you have questions. Please do not be on public forums trying to debate people and question people about the financial institution. When a lot of people don't even know what we're doing. It's just, I hear a lot of more talking about it, then we go and look in the database and they haven't even filled out a survey. Man, I want to give honor to you, Cujo, because you were one of the first ones that actively got behind it. You filled out your survey. You sent me one of the first surveys. And then you pushed it to your members. So it's definitely, give honor to you for that, and we appreciate that you're showing that you really are in support of all things Moors. And you did it. So, appreciate you, brother.
No worries, Moor. You already know.
So, but, yeah, man.
Moor.
So if you're around, while I'm up here, can we get a test with Taj and get Taj to talk with Taj about this, too?
Yeah, no
I know
doubt.
he has expressed he's in support of it, but I really want to make sure he's fully aware of how this can benefit all of us and any Moorish leaders. So we need help from everybody. Any of the elders, anybody you know that may have some influence or some pull, we need to make sure they understand this and we extend the opportunity for them to support the system.
Right. No doubt, fam. Well, give thanks, yo.
It's not my brother.
Yeah, I'll give you a shout back later, though.
All right, brother.
All right, peace. All right, so they even made it easy for you. You can get your survey done online now. 10 minutes. Click, 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 and then that's it. All you need is 300. They're at 100 and something. Right. And I know Islam to the Moors who did their surveys, you know what I'm saying? Because we already know that a lot of those surveys that I've been in were active Moor surveys. Maybe all of them were active Moor surveys. Right? Maybe all of them. Just saying. November 24th, 2017. Freemasons' 300th anniversary celebration ends on high note. 300 years. These people been playing games with your birthright, while your own is telling you this isn't Morocco. Alright, fine, it's not Morocco, then they're going to pretend you. They've been pretending to be you for 300 years. Slavery was what, 400 years, right? So 300 years. So 300 years, these people been doing their little whatever. 300 years. just clear my throat for this. Jamaica was well represented at the culmination of the United Grand Lodge of England's tercentenary celebrations. Tercentenary. Never heard that word before. These goddamn Masons. Tercentenary celebrations held at Royal Albert Hall. Albert Hall. Albert. In London. October 31st. October 31st. While you were out there playing put something in the bag, these people are sucking your energy. And don't forget, you know, Jamaica was well represented, so even your own is sucking you. You want to get it. Now protect yourself, get your shield, make sure you have your nationality and birthrights up, get your mind right. You could have an auric field 50 feet out there, stuff can't touch you. But nah. Right. Leading the local delegation to this historic function was Walter H. Scott, District Grand Master for the District Grand Lodge of Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. He was accompanied by 18 members of the district of varying ranks. The celebration marked the 300th year since the four lodges met at the Goose and Gridiron Tavern in St. Paul's Churchyard, England. And just check who Walter Scott is, you know, Jamaican guy. Walter Scott guy. Grand Lodge. Or Grand Master of the Grand Lodge. Cayman Islands and Jamaica. Cayman Islands and Jamaica. He's like that. He has it up like that. But there are people there suffering and stuff like that. And the point of the lodge is to help the brothers and stuff like that, be humanitarian, you know what I mean? Shriners, hospitals and stuff like that. But these people aren't about humanitarian. They're about raping their people, sucking their people. Right. That's JamaicaObserver.com. Freemasons 300th anniversary. Jamaica Observer. And remember, if Jamaica Observer's carrying this story, then they know what's up. They're playing games with people while they're Jamaican. Games. Everybody playing games. This is just an update, I guess. Just heard background checks for guns was at record-breaking numbers over this past week, November 27th. I wonder why. I was looking at the lady talking about Ninja Man and the national IDs last night, and by January 2018, U.S. citizens will have to get real IDs to travel by plane. State IDs will be invalid. Also, in the quote-unquote state of Georgia, the news reported people have to purchase $100 permit to feed the homeless. If you think that, like we were saying with the cartoon, right? And the guy trying to hold the two things together, and then he's stretching to high heaven just so that this thing doesn't let go, right? This is where they're at right now. Now they're telling you, you have to get a permit if you're going to feed homeless people. No. Like you have to get a permit to drive. And then Mars is going to tell you about, you know, that's legit what they're doing. Are these Moors going to say now that this is legit? Is this going to be considered law as well to certain Negro-minded Moors who like to stand on, statutes like it's constitutions and acts like it's constitutions and ordinances and papal bulls and dummy treaties like their constitutions? Are they going to go with, if you need a license to drive, then yes, you need a permit to feed the homeless? If they go there, no. At that point, you're a dumbass, because they got you about 5 billion times. It's supposed to be, okay, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 500 times, you're a dumbass. And you deserved all those other times that you got. You deserved it. You earned whatever it is that you got. You're a dumbass. You don't see what's going on. You don't see the fraud that these people are running. Blatant fraud. And they call themselves Moors. They call themselves Moors. Brother Keenan English L. This whole matter started because of a warranty claim at my place of business. The customer was upset at the time frame for completion, and honestly, I am at fault for being past my deadline. So backing up about a year ago, I took in a transmission rebuild job. I forgot how we arrived to the topic. I let her know I was Moorish American, and I think she asked me then about Temple 25, which I explained I know of the temple and knew of the Grand Sheikh Fuqua Bey. Long story short, she comes by this morning and said, I only came to you because you said you're Moorish American. The customer calls the Grand Sheikh, and he asks me as follows, not in that order. This should be good. This should be good. 1. What temple do I attend? 2. I don't follow or honor the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. 3. I misrepresented the Moorish Science Temple of America. 4. I was told when things like this happen, the negativity comes back on the temple, even though I never told her I was part of Temple 25. Knowing of individuals is not the same as knowing someone personally. 5. Told me I wasn't a member of any temple that he was affiliated with. I explained to him about Kudro and said that he never heard of him and that he was not a member of the MSTA. 6. My nationality card was described to the GS and he told me that is not the nationality card used in the temple. So basically, I'm not Moorish American because I'm not part of a temple and my card is not recognized. Also, when I mentioned Canaanland Moors, he had no knowledge of Kudro and that it is not recognized by the MSTA of so-called Canada, Islam and Peace. Right? So, being that, we'll go backwards. Being that, this so-called Moorish Science Temple of Canada that's supposed to so-called recognize us, right, as somebody. Where were they in 2008 to recognize us? How come we had to go all the way to Chicago? Fuqua Bey, whoever this Grand Sheikh is, temple number 25 in Detroit, Michigan. This temple that you say that doesn't recognize Canaanland Moors, where were they in 2008 when we were looking to be Moorish Science Temple? Where were they at? That's a question for Fuqua, the Grand Sheikh of Temple number 25. If anybody knows him, just put your phone to this part of the video and tell him to send the email. Answer, canaanlandguide@gmail.com, because I would really like to know who this MST of A in Canada is that's supposed to recognize us. I would really like to know who they are. I would really like to know. Alright. Nationality card described to the GS, and he told me that is not the card used in the temple. So basically, you're not Moorish American because you're not part of the temple and the card is not recognized. Well, allodial nationality cards have absolutely nothing to do with membership of anything. That has nothing to do with membership of anything. Zero. If it's allodial, that means it's not feudal. If it's allodial, that means you recognize what your nationality is. That's why you have the card. Not somebody recognizing your nationality. Or somebody recognizing your nationality. I like to tell people all the time. They go, yeah, I had this dream and, I was going to go check what? That's your head. How you have a head and you had dreams in there and you're going to somebody to tell you what was in your head? When that's your dreams that you had? You better interpret those. Your card. It's not Moorish Science Temple's card, Moorish Nation's card, Moorish Divine National Movement's card, Great Seal's card. Whose picture's on there? You see anywhere on a lot of nationality cards say property of Moorish Nation? Like how they do with their cards? Nationality card, Noble Drew Ali said, is going to change in your pocket. Why? Because you'll be a dumbass in the temple 80 years talking about, hey, honors to Noble Drew Ali and praise Allah and all that stuff, and you never ever once use your nationality card to go do anything in the world? You're given licenses as identification? Somebody says, who are you? You didn't show them your nationality card. You show them corporate document? The hell are you talking about? What kind of backwards thinking is that? Backwards thinking. Supremely backwards. Right? Supremely backwards. Right? Told me I wasn't a member of any temple that he was affiliated with. This is a Grand Sheikh now. This is a Grand Sheikh of a temple. Telling somebody who's not a member of Moorish Science Temple, well, I don't know who you're, well, you're not a part of a temple. So if you're the Grand Sheikh, wouldn't it be your job to make this person who you're talking to that's not part of a temple to be part of a temple? If it's about having members and all that, like what? Where are these people at in their mind? Who are these people that are posing as representatives of what Noble Drew Ali brought? Where do these people come from? Where do these people come from? Like, who are these people? How is a Grand Sheikh recognizing that somebody's not part of a temple. First question, what temple you belong to? I'm not part of a temple. Oh, you don't follow Noble Drew Ali if you're not part of a temple. What? Okay, if you have to get members, it would be wise that if you meet somebody who's not part of a temple, you tell them to come to the temple. Especially if you ask them, what temple are you part of? And they say, I'm not part of a temple. These are your Moorish leaders. These are the guys you want leading you? These guys. These incompetent people you want leading you. Under the banner of Noble Drew Ali, these people, a grand sheik chasing somebody, and now you know why people don't want to join the goddamn temple. Because it's the leadership in there. Nothing's wrong with the temple. It's the leadership. It's the clowns and the lames that are in those seats called grand whatever and supreme grand whatever. Those lames. Just like Brother Kennick said, Moor Science Temple of America, people who call themselves that are people who are making this thing hard to do. Your people, your own sold you up? You still think it's not about self-sufficiency? You still think it's not about self-sufficiency? It's not about self-sufficiency, huh? It's not about self-autonomy, self-determination. It's not about that. You know, the priesthood is dead. Isn't that a dead action? That a grand sheik of a Moor Science temple is telling somebody who's not part of a temple, well, you don't follow the prophet. I don't even know who the hell the prophet is to follow him. I'm not part of a temple, according to y'all. I misrepresented the Moor Science Temple of America. How did I do that? I never said I was part of a temple. No, but you said you're Moorish American. So, Noble Drew Ali said I'm Moorish American because I'm a descendant of Moroccan born in America. Noble Drew Ali never ever said you're Moorish American because you're part of Moor Science Temple of America. What's confusing about that? Oh yeah, we deal with incompetent people that have titles. Incompetent people that could start a YouTube page and a PayPal and a GoFundMe. Incompetent people who jackasses who don't study are going to go support these clowns. Just like they've been supporting the clowns when they were in the conscious BS. Oh, it's my brother, so I'm going to do whatever. Right? You know, go pay for stuff and not get anything. But, you know, that's your brother. You're going to pay for stuff, and then stuff's going to come and it's not going to be what you want. But, you know, that's your brother. That's my brother that just raped me of 500 notes. Why am I going to be mad at him or whatever? You know, love instead of hate and stuff like that. Yes, I like the logic. I like the logic. Very, very. So, if you say you're Moorish American, this is their mindset, right? Their mindset is if you say that you're Moorish American and you're not part of the temple, you're misrepresenting the temple. How? Of course they're going to say that because Moorish American is owned by Moor Science Temple of America because Noble Drew Ali brought that. Okay, but Noble Drew Ali said we're descendants of Moroccans. That's why we're Moorish American. Real simple. It's not advanced. And when people play these games with you, this is supposed to let you know. But again, you're supposed to be on the high road. So you can see these clowns on the low road coming up. You're already looking at them coming up. Oh yeah, I see you guys. I'll wait for you to get so a little closer before I drop this boulder off the edge of this thing. Otherwise you guys do the swing with the rope. Then, you know, I'm thinking I got you. And then these guys are still coming at you. Wait till they get closer. And then throw the boulder over on them. Because people are playing with your birthrights. If they're going to tell you that Moorish Science Temple of America is the all and be all, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters but that. People are playing you. Because it is an important part. But trust that it's not the all and be all. If it was the all and be all, we wouldn't be here right now doing this, because Moorish Science Temple of America would be like the Vatican right now. And every temple would be like Vatican City. Every temple. See what Vatican City looks like? Alright, every temple is going to have their own little way, just like Washington, D.C. or whatever, have their own little jurisdiction that's theirs. If they really said that they're with the prophet and they did what they're supposed to do. They didn't do what they're supposed to do. People played you for 90 years. Played you. Now, people are, you know, like Noble Drew Ali prophesied. People are coming in with their eyes wide open. Certain people's eyes are big, but their eyes are closed. Their eyes just look open, but their eyes are really closed. It appears that their eyes are open because you see them blinking, but they're not. They're shut. Eyes wide shut. Don't let their big eyes fool you. And you think that oh, that's what Noble Drew Ali meant, that they're going to have eyes like that. No, that's not what he meant. He meant these people's mind is going to be open. Talking about no goddamn eyes that you see out of. He's a metaphysician. How warped is he to think that you have a nationality card, but that's for membership in some organization that he founded? You're a dumbass. You don't have a membership card. You have a nationality card. Act 7 is all members must proclaim their membership. All members must proclaim their membership. That's what, is that what, if your Act 7 says that, you better be running out that spot that you're in. If your Act 7 says, proclaim your membership in the Moorish Science Temple, know that they're playing you. You can play around that they're not playing you, but even though you're sitting in the seat and you're showing support and you think that you're getting the holy gospel and all that stuff, these people are playing you out of your right. Your right from birth to be free. So active ones will tell you, don't worry about these Europeans. Europeans, time's over. They know time's over. You realize that, 7-Elevens are kaput? Circle K or something like that right now, all of a sudden all this stuff taking over? Do you think their time's not done? Drew Ali told you, brothers from the East, Who they owe the most to? Brothers from the East. You don't worry about these Europeans. Unfortunately, you can't put a corporation in prison for not, debtor's prison in China. Corporations can't go in there. So they're just going to have to give them up. All the corporations. It's the only collateral that they got. Oh yeah, and their property. Negro, black, colored, poor whites. They already have a plan for them. Right? They already have a plan for them. And what did Noble Drew Ali do? Brought you back your nationality and birthrights so you can step out. So you can step out of the BS that's that's happening right now. And this is why the call is to uplift fallen humanity. Because it's not going to work with 2, 5, 7, whatever people. And we already tell you, if it's going to work with 2, 5, 7 people, all those people better be at it, and you better be really about unity. That a Moor could call a Moor anytime with whatever, and Moor's going to drop the stuff and go assist. Other than that, it ain't working. Don't even try to play like we're Moors. Like we're saying, as far as our temple, anybody just relying on the Grand Sheik only? Moors call Moors. The Grand Sheik's finding out stuff last. Trust that Moors call Moors. Moors build with Moors. Because if we're a nation, this is why when people talk BS about Moor Science Temple in Canada and it's not us, those guys are a fraud. They haven't been around since 2007. And we know anybody who says anything relative to Moors from out here, they were part of our temple. They know what's good. They know what's good. Not no secret. Like, you know what I mean? I told y'all. Kabahaya Watha Kameni. Hemet those people. Obashango before the locks. Rudra with the locks. Sister Zakina. You are Nuwapians here. For Nuwapians. If people don't know what's up, who set the standard out here? And then people are going to play games again. We're talking about the timeline. Now, how come nobody checked Dane Calloway's timeline? Nobody checked? Nobody never checked when he started his YouTube page? And then asked the question, where, if YouTube started 2000 something, where the hell were these people? Like, just like that, they just pop up, and then that's where you're going. You're not gonna go check the foundation. You're not gonna go to Dr. Walter Rodney. You're gonna go to Dr. whoever that just came yesterday. Really? You expect to have something? You expect to get somewhere? Not dealing with the foundation? Right? You want to respect backspinning? You want to respect b-boying? DJing? You want to respect that. But you want to be #1 platinum whatever guy? Put this dude on and hang him from something. Because people are tripping. Right? All the sniper Moors are lock and loaded. They're already ready. They just need the word. Because the real misrepresentation are these people who know what's good and they're playing around with people's birthright. That's the real misrepresentation. It's not the active Moors who've been doing this. Like I said, check the timeline. We've been nothing but RV Bay publications from the start. Go around and ask everybody else who says that they're, you know, in the whatever. See how much stuff they changed up since 2007. How much names they changed. How much different stuff they... And then again, when you check the timeline, you see that they were doing BS. Selling packages and... Years ago. You think those tendencies leave people? Those tendencies don't leave people. Those opportunistic, try every weak mind in order to, you know, squeeze from them the last whatever it is that they got, energy, fiat, whatever. These people are around right now, running rampant. Do you think the spirit take people's body and Holy Ghost jump into people and stuff like that, have them twitching and all that stuff, and is some fake stuff? Don't forget, spirits evolve too. So that spirit that used to jump in a body and just make them yell BS, now spirits jump in bodies and people don't even know that they're under demonic energies. They don't even know. People have no clue that they're opening their mind to go learn. They punch up something and the individual that they're watching is a possessed individual telling them some BS that doesn't even equate to making sense, and people still go with that. Like you're gonna take shooting class from the guy who shoots himself in the foot every time. The guy who always came last, that's the guy you're training with. You're training with the loser guy. Right? Self is really what it's coming down to. You play like you want to deal with it, you want somebody to do it for you, and you want to, if you don't check for yourself, you're going to be in serious trouble if you don't check for self. Keep playing. This is birthrights. If you didn't have it at birth, you better try to find out as soon as possible. Because trust, these MSTAs and all these different groups and all that stuff that's trying to steer you down some come join in order for you to be whatever it is that you are, playing you. Don't forget, nobody joins RV Bay Publications. There's nothing to join. Nobody joins Moorish Heritage and History School. You don't enroll to be a student of that. Yeah, it's called school, but you're not enrolling. How come you're not enrolling? Because this is not about membership. This is not about student enrollment. You have a student card? Oh yeah? Oh, you think you're a student of something? You're a student of studying self. And the school you go to is Moorish Heritage and Moorish is self. The Moorish is not some out there, oh, that's the Moorish whatever. The temple that you go to study the science is Moorish. That's self. That's not that building where we go every Sunday, you're watching class, and that's a Moorish science temple. If you really think this, the spot with the sign is the only Moorish science temple and there's no others, you have some serious detoxing to do. Serious detoxing. You're clogged up with BS. That you're not even making sense. Thinking, you're not even making sense. Drew said, think to save yourself. If you can't think, you're not going to save yourself. Trust me, your thinking won't work if you don't know how to think. Don't know how to think, you can't save yourself. Because Drew said, think and save yourself. Okay, well, where's the saving yourself coming from if you can't think? Like, it boggles the mind, right? But it's true that the finite mind can't comprehend the infinite. But the infinite can't comprehend the finite either. The infinite can't comprehend the finite. Because in order for the infinite to comprehend the finite, it would have to lose in and be outside of itself, which would make it finite. And then once you jump in the grave with them, I mean, both you guys are done. So I have to stay on the high road. Don't get swayed out of that this is about you getting everything right up here. Don't think you're gonna give some guy some finance, have a community, and then Moors are gonna be there, and now you think you're not gonna have warp stuff going on? First of all, it's warped people that's telling you give them finance and you're giving it. Not competent people that you should be giving no finance to. Haven't showed you anything. They haven't even showed you a book that they've been saying they're supposed to be writing or whatever. But you're going to give them finance to have buildings? They can't even produce a book for you. If they can't produce a book for you to support that, to prove that, okay, they're worthy of building something. Because you have to start somewhere. Just building pop up. This is about you, your family. What, family doesn't want it? Alright, then next line of family down. Whatever the next family members are. That's the crew, then that's the next family members you put this on. But they don't want it, so then get it to the youth. For example, the spot I was at today. Make sure you go to Brother Najib L YouTube page. Go watch his new video. Make sure you go watch that. This youth man saw my, make sure you go to look up on Google chakra testing. Right? Chakra testing. Sister Sky. Chakra testing. So I had on my throat chakra, crown chakra medallion. And you man comes up, like, yo, what's that? Chakra balancer. Chakra, what's that? You heard about chakra before? No, I never heard about chakra before. You know, do like this. Feel something there? Yeah, I feel some heat. Alright, you know what I mean? It's energy. So your body has energy in you, you know, just, you know, a brief thing. You know, you got 7 chakras, you know, from the, those, you watch anime? Like, a little bit. Is that the same stuff that they talk about in Naruto? That's the exact same stuff that they talk about in Naruto, yes. The same stuff that they talk about and what they do with the things called quote-unquote chakras in Naruto, that's the exact same thing that I'm telling you why I'm wearing this thing. Alright, man, I gotta go to class or whatever. Hit them up. Don't worry about these people your age and older playing like they don't want to know anything. They're content in their ignorance. Or you have son, daughter, or whatever like that, younger than the older people, oh yeah, put them on. Tell them that they're not black. Bet you they agree. Bring it to them. Hey, you know, you're not black. They look at themselves. Yeah, I'm brown. Oh, it's so easy for you to get. So hard for other people to get. How come it's so easy for active Moors to read the Holy Quran? Noble Ali said in there, sovereign, and related that to Moors. In his own words. Then people are going to tell you that Moors who say sovereign are teaching against the Prophet. How is it that they're going to say you can't use Morrison's Temple of America, you're misrepresenting, you can't use Crescent Star, you can't use the handshake, you can't use the Circle 7 unless you're a member of the Morrison's Temple? How come they never copyrighted the Moorish flag? You know, if they got so much ownership of what Noble Drew Ali brought under Morrison's Temple, they're going to copyright everything. How come they never copyrighted the Moorish flag? How come they never trademarked that? Well, because it's about birthright. It's not some goddamn club. Join. It's not about join. Nothing to do with join. 0% to do with join. Somebody pushing this to you like this is some join? Somebody telling you Morrison's Temple of America. Oh, let me see if I find the freaking thing. Oh yeah, I got some more questions. Where is it? Oh, okay. So, right, so like this one. This is Morrison's Temple of America, remember. Right? Morrison's Temple of America. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder. Temple number 22. Membership application. So this is membership into the Morrison's Temple of America. Name, date of birth, address, city, state, phone, email, tribal name, designation, LRB. Are you a citizen of the United States of America? If no, please list country of origin. That'll be an interesting one to see what answers come from that. Do you drive? If yes, what's the license number? Now at the bottom here it says registration number, and the membership is not valid without approval and seal of office. And you can be approved or you can be denied membership. You could be denied membership. So if you can be denied membership, this is not about nation. That's about join the club, join the alumni, join the, association, join the whatever, and get little perks that we give you because, you're under us. But remember, all these places, they have a flag that represents a nation, not an organization. Right? A nation and not an organization. Alright? Question about universal passport. You don't want universal passport, ask Yassine Bey. Yassine Bey was the lesson for Moors, leave universal passport alone, because that is not your jurisdiction, because that's European stuff. And these Europeans that are pretending to be you in your own land have taken a corporate side. Just like the Moors pretending to be you, calling themselves Moorish Americans, that took a corporate side. And all of these people are black in Moor face. You do not want to get universal passport. You do want to get this information to get out of something because the pressure's on. The pressure is supposed to make you want to study more. The pressure is supposed to make you want to be humble. Because if we check the timeline of our lives, the times when we weren't humble is when we got dealt with proper. Many people in many different ways. Some people aren't even here anymore because of how they got dealt with for not being humble. Right? So, ain't no warp speed or anything like that. Take your time, study this information, because this is about birthrights. This is not about club rights. Right? Now we'll definitely see what we can do with the questions before we close out with the other questions. But again, nationality is not about cards. Nationality is about mindset before cards. Nationality is about how you think, not what's in your pocket. Right? Always remember, nationality is not about the card or the papers or whatever. It's about where's your mind at with regard to your nationality. Right? There's a lot more.
Peace, more. What's going on?
Everything's peaceful.
Good. Welcome, family. What's going on, family, out there? I just want to see what's going on. How y'all feeling?
Everybody's peace. Everybody's good.
Good. So, where'd you get at? Do we still have the, you can learn a lot from a dummy going on?
No, we're gonna start that one right now.
in my investigation, I am Supreme L. I'm glad to be here on Canaanland Moors with the platform, the best platform ever. So I just got a few questions that I want to dig and delve on with the Sheik here. Now, I've been looking at a couple of videos here lately, and there's some brothers, man, just I don't know what it is, but as a student, you can't learn a lot from the dummy. Someone was calling this, or was trying not to call this Al-Maroc, but then turn right around and say Morocco of the West revealed.
Right.
What say you about that?
Right. Well, again, you know what I mean? It goes again to show the insincerity and utter disregard that these people have for unity, right? Because we have to put on the record that it was merely 2 weeks ago that Brother Ramon L. was on the show, right? The same platform, telling him, proving to him that this is Al-Maroc over here, and they were in denial. Now that they're bedwench, right? Now that their intellectual bedwench produces the information, right? Now they're down with it. Now they're down with it. And not once did this coward apologize for calling the brother out of his name, calling the brother out of his intellectual capacity by challenging him about this is not Morocco. Because he was told before the Bedouins told him that this is Morocco. And he was told by an active Moor who studies by RV Bay Publications and Taj Tariq Bey and Canaanland Moors and whoever else, that these people who are now accepting the realization that over here is Morocco of the West, right, refuse to acknowledge and say that they are presenting information. Now, keep in mind, again, you know, this thing about ownership of what Noble Jew Ali brought, and never once did he tell the Bedouins that Noble Jew Ali didn't bring that. How come Noble Jew Ali never, there's nowhere in the literature of Moor Science Temple of America that Noble Jew Ali calls over here Mariku? Nowhere. Nowhere at all. But they're going to go with that as a legitimate source. Even though they put it on the record that it's French. So now they're listening to what the French say. But then it only makes sense because, you know, that's who the protectorate was. For the kingdom, not the empire. The protectorate for the kingdom was the French.
Right, exactly.
Not the empire. Remember what we said earlier, how Europe underdeveloped Africa. And they came to the realization, not 2 weeks ago, but right now, that over here is Morocco. These people are a fraud. Because they've been told that this is what it is. They've been told that this is Morocco, the farthest west, Maghrib, Al-Aqsa. No, it's not. That's not Noble Jew Ali's teachings. Noble Jew Ali didn't bring that. Now you're down with it? FOH. FOH. With your BS. And anybody who's riding with them on their platform acting like they got some type of knowledge, like Noble Drew Ali pointed down from the ether realm at these Moors and made them Ali's men. You know, Noble Drew Ali never sanctioned them. Noble Drew Ali never gave them no jurisdiction over no information or nothing like that for them to call themselves Ali's men. Noble Drew Ali never touched them. Remember, all them Ali's men people, they were down with Great Seal and all that. They're on the record telling people, go get Taj Tariq Bey's books. You need to support that brother, get his books. They're on the record saying that. Now they're not. Now they're on a different side. Oh, that because they're a turncoat. That's why. And turncoats are sellouts. Turncoats are sellouts. Right? So, again, where's the apology for calling the brother out of his intellect? Well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And now, and then keep in mind again that the same bedwench that is doing presentations about Morocco that they're buying right now, right? They're going to talk BS about Kudro and Latif Bey, but how come they're not talking about when Bedwench went and did Scientology presentation for a room of Europeans?
Right, you're right, that's right.
How come they're not bringing that up? That was even before, you know what I mean, them having a platform. Before them even having a platform, they're getting calls from Europeans to go do lectures about Scientology. You tell me these people aren't on the other side? You tell me that these people aren't again, like we said, check the track record, right? How much stuff did the intellectual bedwench, how much different schools of thought did he go through before he is where he is right now? And he was a Bey even when he was with Amin Ra Squad, which was black guys. So a Moors with the black guys who's dissing Moors, and now he's not with them no more. Now he's a scholar and you're taking him serious? So somebody comes out and says, Sonetter is the best channel, wearing a baseball hat and all that stuff, and then now he has a fez on, and now you think that he's on some more science, Noble Drew Ali? The hell out of here. These are black guys in more face. They're talking about people shouldn't have Ellen Bay, those guys are frauds. No, these guys are frauds. These people who where were they in 1990? They were with CM Bay or Great Seal or active Moors, doing active stuff. Now, because they joined some quote-unquote Moor Science temple now, like you were saying, that the supreme grand whoever or the grand whoever has his hand up their ass, that they can't talk for their own self, now we're supposed to listen to them. These people came out of Great Seal. These people came out of forget a license and all that. Right? These people came out of that. Now they're talking BS about it? That's turncoat behavior. And anybody on some repping some turncoats and backing them, right? They're a fraud with these people. Right? There's a lot more. Cause I know our time's limited, so I'm gonna keep them short.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I just want to say, I did hear a certain person say that if the information was confronted to me, that I would tuck my tail and say, verbatim, I would tuck my tail and say, "You're right, I was wrong, Lord." So I think that brother needs to tuck his tail and give that apology.
No doubt.
Been
No doubt.
We're gonna move right along. I get to another fraud that I was listening to, and I'm gonna just call him flat on out because it is what it is. A Dale Galloway or Calloway, some dude named Dale Taylor Calloway, and I went on his site, man, and the first thing I saw, he had an American Eagle on there.
Yep.
You know, not. So I know he's already corporate, but you know what he said about the prophet being back to Africa with value or down with the back to the Africa movement, and I like to just say what you say about that, Mark.
Well, let's see what the prophet says about it. Since these people know so much about the prophet that they're gonna put his picture in their stuff, right? They're gonna use their little like what Mario calls it. They're gonna use their little hypnotizing music and stuff like that, pianos and violins and stuff like that. Pull at people's emotional strings that they don't know that they're getting pulled because people are dumbasses, right? And they don't realize that they're getting lulled to sleep by the music while their subconscious mind is getting filled with BS. Right? They don't see that because they don't study. They're on some dead, zombified level. Remember, don't forget, go see the movie Cell if you haven't seen it yet. For the Moors who've seen it, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Right? Well, ask Noble Drew Ali what he said with regard to Back to Africa stuff and, Moors. The Moor Science Temple of America was founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Aside from the fact that it is a legally organized religious corporation, it is building on human needs. To this desirable end, in time legitimate means will be found to dispense charity and provide for the mutual assistance of its members in times of distress, to aid in the improvement of health and to encourage the ownership of better homes, to find employment for our members, to teach those fundamental principles which are desired for our civilization, such as obedience to law, respect and loyalty to government, tolerance and unity. It is most earnestly hoped that the Moor Science Temple of America will not in any way be confused with any Back to Africa movement. One more needs to be said, that Dane Calloway is a liar. Right? Dane Calloway is a cuff boy. Probably sucking on pork chops and all that stuff, telling you about your native. Sucking on pig feet and eating chitterlings and stuff like that, talking about, put out some videos, teach you something about something. He's going to lie to people that Noble Drew Ali is part of all the Back to Africa people, when Noble Drew Ali's own words is do not in any way, right? Like not some ways or a portion of ways, in any way do not confuse Moor Science Temple of America with any Back to Africa movement. I don't care what it's called. Do not confuse Moors with Back to Africa. Why? Because Noble Drew Ali even said we are from Missouri. Missouri is not in Africa. Yes, we are descendants of Moroccans. Morocco is not only in Africa. For you dumbasses, you think Morocco is North Africa only. Only a dumbass thinks there's only Morocco in North Africa and that's it. And again, anybody who's liking or, commenting, right, giving thumbs up or whatever like that to this BS that these people are putting out, calling it learning for our people, you guys are fools. All of you who don't study and you just listen to some dumbass. Everybody who said, oh my gosh, he's actually right. They went back to Africa and then that's why, whatever. Okay, well, Noble Drew Ali said, don't Go and compare us to any Back to Africa music. Why is he putting Noble Drew Ali lumped up with all those other people who are pushing Back to Africa stuff if Noble Drew Ali said don't do that?
Right.
Does that mean he's a liar? Doesn't that mean he's a manipulator of your intelligence? Like like how is it only our people are gonna sit there, let somebody mind cuff them, right? And they just take it like a dumbass. But hey, like we were saying, we can learn a lot from a dummy.
That's right. That's right. And he passed it, and he's part of the little back to church movement because he's passing that plate around too with the.
Yep, passing that plate around. Yeah. Yeah, passing that plate, right? And you idiots went from you know, what's his face? TD Jake's plate. Now you're putting it in a conscious guy's plate. And you're telling me that that's not church still? The hell out of here. Goddamn Christian black code Negroes. The hell out of here. You're not conscious of anything. You guys are still Negroes that need improvement. Still, 2017 Negroes need improvement still. That they're still calling stuff UNIA like some dumbasses when you're Moors. Garvey even told you you're going to be happy when you get your nationality. These fat pork eating.
That comes from Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey say what again now?
Let's just put it like this. These people have been told from people who died 80 years ago, people who died last month. These people have been told what the hell is up, what they have to do. Our people are choosing not to. They're choosing to stay in this place that, you know, whatever they get, they get. I mean, it's no different than, you know, the Gambian talking about, well, they shouldn't be killing Africans. Libyans are Moors, but Gambians are Africans. Dumbass. Oh, well, they're going to give Jamaicans the IDs. I don't want a Jamaican ID because I'm Jamaican and I don't want an ID. You're Jamaican? How come they're not giving Maroons IDs? How come they didn't make a Maroon national ID, whatever, for the Maroons? If they're all about takeover and colonize or whatever, then Maroons should have a Jamaica ID too. How come they don't? Right? They don't because they know who they are. They're not Christian black code Negroes. They're not Negro Act blacks. They're Aboriginal and indigenous to Jamaica. No goddamn Jamaica. The hell is that? You don't know what that is. The European brought that. What are you talking about? U.S. United States of America. That ain't United States of Morocco. Okay, yeah, okay, I'll ride with that. Since America comes from Morocco and all that, you know. We'll go with that. We'll go United States of Morocco. They definitely don't have no jurisdiction over that, or could claim that they have jurisdiction over that. And then, you know, if it's United States of Morocco, it would make sense why Noble Drew Ali called around here Asiatic states. Make complete sense. But only to people who know how to think. Non-thinking people are not going to save themselves. They're going to tell you, I can't swim, and want you to jump in and drown both of you. Right? They want you to jump in so both of you drown. They don't want to grab the pole and pull themselves out. They want to climb on your back. 500-pound fat pork eating guy. He's talking about climb on your back. Climb on your back and swim us to shore.
Right.
And then you're jumping in to go save the dummy.
Right. Right. Use you as the floating device.
Right? Yeah, use you. Use you as the floating device. Right? Use you as the floating device. Right? And make that relative to all these people who call themselves grand whoever, right? That is not telling the membership that it's really about them. They have membership thinking that it's about the guy who has the seat or whatever, right? And he's raping their birthright. Raping these people's birthright.
Wow.
Like we were saying, how come these people called Morris Science Temple of America, who's passing the plate around, how come they don't just go into the treasury that was collecting the 25 cent, 50 cent dues and stuff in Noble Drew Ali's time?
Right.
I mean, you guys were collecting dues and stuff 80, 100 years. I mean, you know, you have Grand Treasury, you have Supreme Grand Council and stuff like that. So, what are you begging for? If you're Morris Science Temple of America, as you claim you are, why are you putting out your hand to get stuff? You guys have been collecting dues for 100 years. Oh, nobody could show where that is? So don't the people who call themselves Morris Science Temple of America members, don't you think that that's a problem? That your membership's been in the seat for 40 whatever years. Prior to that, other people were in that same seat. Prior to that guy, other people were in that same seat. And then prior to that guy, Noble Drew Ali's time. And then Noble Drew Ali's time, dues were getting collected. And 2017, they're sticking out their hands and you're not questioning what are you sticking out your hands for? There's supposed to be a grand treasury. As far as Morris Science Temple is concerned, Inc. and all whoever else call themselves Morris Science Temple.
True.
But they'll never, ever, ever, ever go there because you realize that these same people in the seats are the same ones who robbed your goddamn treasury, and then now you're putting fiat in their hand again. Now you're putting fiat in their hand. Like you're not going to lose that too. You lost the gold and silver already. Or whatever was in, you lost all the manufacturing companies, community centers, fisheries, cookie factory, you know, whatever it is that Noble Drew Ali had, you guys lost all the stuff. And then people are still looking at these people as the ones who brought them some salvation or whatever.
Wow.
144,000 only are going to be saved. Why? Because everybody else is incompetent dumbass. But you can learn a lot from a dummy. So if you're 144,000, you know, you already know what's good. Carry on with the protocol. Carry on with the divine mission. Right? And do whatever you have to do so when you leave here, you're not coming back as a fish or a cow or some stuff like that because you're a dumbass. Right? That's why you're supposed to go vegetarian as well. Because all those animals are people. Came back here in lower life forms because they were a dumbass. Just ask the Buddhists, they'll tell you. Just ask the Buddhists, they'll tell you. Oh, you like to eat chicken and stuff like that? Don't worry. Don't worry. You're going to get your opportunity to be on the plate, chicken lover. Oh, chitlin lover, don't worry. You're gonna be the hog one day. Think it's a game. Think it's a game. But yeah, more. We're about 2 minutes. Was there any more?
Well, yeah, no, we're gonna go to the next time. But that was really interesting. That last one, especially that you could be that food on your plate. But yeah, I got to do some investigation on that one. I'll have that one for next time too. But if you don't mind, you can take this out too. But I want to hang around for the end, and I want to stand up and give my Bible left two on the right, if you will.
Islam, more, no doubt, no doubt. Was there because there was actually I'm gonna put this one out. I'll put this one out to you too. One of the Moors sent a question just to get another perspective. We got maybe another 5 minutes or something.
Okay.
The Moors question was, I would like to get my nationality card ASAP. How? And it's based on, you know, where you're at. If you could answer that one for the brother.
Okay. Well, I would say go on to rvapublications.com, brother, because that's the university. You know, that's our university. You know what I'm saying? Despite what anybody say, I don't care what all the naysayers say. Don't believe them. Go check it out for yourself, and you'll be amazed at the news you'll find on your treasure hunt, because it is a treasure hunt. The truths have been planted and hidden, but it's easily found. So just go on rvapublications.com and you get your card there.
Islam. Okay. Now, and also too, keep in mind that, you know, when you go on rvbaypublications.com, people who are on this, they want their nationality card right now. If you are in jurisdiction of Canaanland, when you go to rvbaypublications.com and try to get your nationality card and it doesn't work, it's going to be because you haven't came back home to the temple yet. For all the people who say that rvbaypublications.com doesn't send people to the temple and all that stuff, right? We've gotten numerous people out here who were just Moors studying that they did that exact same thing. Hey, how can I get a nationality card? Okay, I guess I see I can, you know, do it through these people. Okay, I'm gonna go there, and then they go there, and then they get sent right here to the temple to come and learn. They don't get sent to the temple to get a nationality card. They get sent to the temple to come and learn.
Right. That's true.
Because the temple is where you're supposed to learn, where you're supposed to get the information. Once you get the information, then you would be able to, you know how to move. Right? Then you're going to know how to move. Right? And the last question, just because this was the last one. Now, just for the brother too that's asking this question, this is something that you can go on CRA, Canada Revenue Agency website fraud section. Just go to the fraud section, and then there's going to be a big yellow or red box or something saying alert, 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 whatever. Read that with regard to this question that you sent. I'm worried about a call I got in regards to taxes, which said that they may issue a warrant for my arrest if I do not answer them back. When I called, no one answered. I feel it may be a result of me listening to a Moor who told me about claiming my charges and requesting remittance vouchers from CRA. What is this all about, and is claiming my charges even possible? Right? So the fact that you're questioning about claiming charges means that you're thinking. Which Noble Drew Ali said, once you start thinking, you save yourself. Now, claiming charges is a fraud because the charges are more than likely in a name that's not your name. If you saying you want a nationality card and all that stuff, that name down the charges ain't you. So you claiming those can't really be done because that'll be committing fraud because that's not your name. Why are you claiming it? Right? Now, again, you were listening to a Moor who told you this. Guarantee you that the Moor who told you that is not frequent in their temple meetings with Canaanland Moors. Because that Moor is obviously playing games with your birthrights. And with regard to taxes and warrant, matter of fact, call up CRA and let them know about the call that you got and give them the number that the call came from and let CRA tell you what's good with regard to calls telling you about they're going to issue a warrant if you don't pay taxes. And just remember the CRA website, when they have the fraud alert, big bold letters on the top of the thing so you can't miss it, and see how these people are playing around. Let all these so-called other whoever's over here, and then have these people running game on you in your own land. And think about how many people get paranoid and pay without even questioning anything. It means you just got played. So know that you could learn a lot from a dummy, but you can't be a dummy too. Dummies can't learn from dummies. Right? Dummies can't learn from dummies. The dummy is supposed to be an example of what you're not supposed to be, how you're not supposed to think. That's what you learn from the dummies. You learn from the crash test dummy, put on a seatbelt. Well, I have right to travel. I don't need a seatbelt. Alright, I mean, then do your thing.
You have the right to travel right through the windshield.
Yeah, right.
I love you more. Like every time I with you more, it's always love, man, and I always get enlightened. So I give honors to you, Cujo. I give honors to you.
Honors to you more, and honors to all the Moors out there who's just studying, because you know that this is about birthright. This is not some club. Regardless what the club people say, this is about birthright. So we'll just close out. We'll just close out with the prayer. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. By night and by day, to his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam, Ashe. Islam, and don't forget, let me just make that announcement. blogtalkradio.com, 9:30, blogtalkradio.com. Call-in number 425-569-5201. 425-569-5201 or 347-945-5899. 347-945-5899, blogtalkradio.com/MHHS-eyes wide open, 9:30. Islam to all Moors, peace and love. Islam to pardon the interjection. Mantis Views 29, Moorish American 720, Moorish Directory, Moreno Bay, Najib L, all the Moors with a YouTube page out there, doing their best to get the word out. Islam to you and yours. Peace.
Come on in, brother. Come on in, brother. Bless. Have a seat, brother. Have a seat. Ah, yes. Come on in, brother. Welcome. Bless. Have a seat right there. Hey. Brother, bless. Have a seat, bro. Welcome, bless. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. You guys ready to make some money?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Ready to make some money?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's get to work. All right, man. You get your birth certificates, man. You get a bunch of money from that, man. You know what I'm saying? You get your bonds, tons of money, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to get flex like this. You want to be good, man. You want to be flossing. Get your fur coats on, right? You got this over here, right here. Just ignore all that right there. Over here, right here. This is what it's all about, man. It's all about the dollar signs. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the money. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the dollar signs. At the end of the day, it's all about the money.
So, SGK, how soon can I get my money after we do this? I have 10 grandchildren, you know. I need lots of money.
Hey, since this is so foolproof, can I get an advance? I got some stuff to take care of. I need the money.
Hold up.
Disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
2 weeks going on 3, I gave him a G. Said with these papers I could be sovereign and free like popes and King Henry. Sipping on Henny and pigs' faces, no matter the places. Travel rights, days and nights, cash in bonds on birth certs. Didn't tell me that birth is ERTH, bottomry benefits of instruments.
It's all about the money. Trust me, you go with this and you'll get the money. If you don't believe me, ask my student right here.
Pissed off, will break his wrists off. Dirty Moors got me wanna cut lips off and teeth chipped off. Dirty thief using me to go through windows. Probably took my Fiat and bought Indo and Kush. Off the roof I would push.
SGK.
Yes, sir.
Justice, no love.
How come no withdrawal not on the board?
No reply from emails. He stopped tweeting, but he's giving details on trust and executive status. Dialing the number, got my fingers callous. Dirty Moor packets selling cheaters. Rob you with no conscience, cognizant, not sleepers. And well aware, that's motive local. Plus they changed the corporate name and logo.
We're sorry, you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again. We're sorry, you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
They still on the Fiat hustle and the bustle. Got cats in the bag like ruffles, airtight. Use fair fright, martial law hype. If you
I'll give you 50%
send a kite.
50%. Alright, you know what? I'll tell them
Not even, get wise with the quickness, ability, quickly nimble, won't stumble or tremble. Finding out I got played like cymbals. Dirty Moors selling you your own Morris symbols and crystals. No different than trees and reeds and toes missile. Drew Ali said study, 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 so you don't get enslaved or played by your own buddy. Giving money to a gold digging dummy. State hopping, Dirty Moors rob you out your dirty drawers. Souls perfect in fools' bodies. Setting up a PayPal smiling broad. Those types don't even know what's coming. Cause when I see them, it's expose time, no running, no gunning. I was told get wise. Dirty people giving weasel evil eyes. Picking up the cell to call. I get nervous cause I know what's up after I heard this.
We're sorry, you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again. We're sorry, you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
You gotta dish out.
Oh, this is yours? This is all yours?
For sure. Who else is it?
Keep coating. Jeez. Need to get me some of that right now, man. Yo, SGK, hook me up.
Bro, I got all this first day. I'm just saying, not first day today, but next day.